The college football experience, Florida International Panther 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, brought to you by Bird Dog Shorts. Dominate the summer with an amazing pair of shorts and a free Yeti style tumbler when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. Once again, that is birddogs.com/pool.
Hey everybody, Josiah Miamen here. You're listening to SGPN. So do this, let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Florida International Panthers 2023 season preview. FIU, they say FIU. All right, look, you might be wondering just who the hell you're listening to. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink, and I don't have stress, and I'm healthy.
I want this pilot. It's a matter of national security.
Yes. We're talking about the airport. You want this pilot, Patty C? Get on the. That's where I love it, catching, and I love the fact that the CUSA got to play on a lot of Tuesday and Wednesdays. You're going to see a bunch of teams come to the tarmac and try to win. All right, Hangar 5.
Hangar 5 is going to be in full operation.
It will be. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kid stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well,
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
buddy.
Let's get it going. Oh, I happened to place a wager last year on FIU over 2.5 wins, and the sweat was real week 1 against the Bryant Bulldogs, where they pulled it out 38-37 in overtime. But then
Squeaking by.
Then October 1st came around and they took down Jerry Kill and the New Mexico State Aggies, which was another lock of mine.
Yep.
For that second win, and then
that put him over right there. It was a 1.5.
No. I think it was a flat 2, maybe.
Flat 2.
I got to go back and look. But I know that when they went into Jerry Richardson Stadium and beat the Charlotte 49ers 34-15 on October 22nd, I had cashed. And it doesn't even include the very next week where they won yet again. They almost knocked off Middle Tennessee in the season finale too. I would say it was a very good year for considering what he walked into.
Yep.
For Mike MacIntyre. I know they have a 4-game losing streak and you want to see more progress in November, but considering I thought the roster wasn't great, I smashed the over.
A 4-game losing streak with some pretty epic losses in that 4 games.
True, but the last one they almost won.
38-point loss at North Texas, 45-point loss against Florida Atlantic,
won the championship,
34-point loss against UTEP, and then kept it close against Middle Tennessee, who beat Miami last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Who did Middle Tennessee beat
they didn't
by
just
more?
They threw for over 400 yards.
So they whooped Miami, but squeaked by FIU.
So
FIU might be the better team in the Miami area.
What happened the last time they played Miami?
Did they get the dub?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Fucking Hurricanes suck.
So now year 2 of the Mike MacIntyre era begins. Patty C, what's your take on Coach Mac?
Well, rebuilding seems to be his MO. San Jose State, year 1, 1-12, year 2, 5-7, year 3, 10-2. At Colorado, it took him 4 years, 4-8, 2-10. So a slight step back, then 4-9, but then 10-4. The breakthrough happened.
Boom.
In year 4. Here we are.
Trust the process.
Yeah. Maybe year 2, you don't have your expectations so high. our win total. Yeah.
If you're watching youtube.com/the college experience, maybe the expectation is the same as last year. But
get a little better. Vegas
yeah.
gives them a win more. They're up to 3 now. So
Patty C, we're going to talk all about it. We're going to jump into the offense. We're going to jump into the defense. But before we do all that, I got to tell you folks out there that the College Football Experience FIU 2023 season preview episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Yes, Bird Dogs make you look good, like hiring Mike MacIntyre after 4 years. It's gonna make the athletic director look pretty good. Bird Dogs are stretch khaki shorts, and they're designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and the leg area, giving a truly sculpted look. You're gonna look like you're friggin' Carl Weathers when you put these things on. All right, I'm not talking Carl Weathers now. I'm talking back in the day.
Carl Weathers, black don't crack, and he looks good now too. Let's be honest.
He played for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah,
he played for the BC Lions in the CFL.
He's a stud.
Yeah, getting it done. Look, they fit way better than regular shorts that are made of stiff, restricting cotton. And Bird Dogs fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks like khakis but stretches, so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice all that movement. And Bird Dog uses anti-stink, sweat wicking fabric, buddy. It keeps you cool and dry all day long. So if you're down there at FIU Stadium on the tarmac watching the airport play football, well, then you might want to be wearing some Bird Dogs, because it's going to be it's South Florida, humidity bubbling off your ass. Look, go to birddogs.com/pool, enter the promo code pool. That's POOL, and they're going to throw you a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/pool for a free Yeti style tumbler. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We can promise you that. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience FIU Panthers 2023 season preview episode. Remember, we're breaking out all 133 teams, solo podcast for each and every team in the land. So subscribe, tell a friend. We've been doing this shit for years. Patty C, the offense. Well, no, let's talk about the portal first, because this team truly did get affected by the portal. And I feel like, I know Mike MacIntyre has been very frustrated with the current state of things.
I'm sure
he's clear tampering, he thinks, on all these things.
Yeah, FIU is pretty low on the totem pole in terms of, the market. The transfer rate going in and going out is probably hurting FIU.
Well, if you watch them over the past couple of years, you would know they had a star wideout in Tyrese Chambers. Now this guy hit the portal, and a lot of teams were after him, and including there was speculation that Dion was going to get him. He ends up at Maryland. Some of that Under Armour money, cha-ching. He goes to the Maryland Terrapins. Their tight end Rivaldo Fairweather. This guy penciled in to be a starter now at the Auburn Tigers. Patty C.
Guess you can call him a Fairweather friend.
Ooh, yeah. There you go. Fairweather portal get. So those are two huge losses. Then linebacker Gathan Bernadelle, probably butchering that. He went to Stanford out there on the farm in Palo Alto. Safety Demetrius Hill went to Illinois. Offensive tackle Lindell Hudson goes to Florida.
Ooh, losing them to Power 5 schools
all of those,
all over the
but
place.
You have a couple other ones too, like cornerback Andrew Volmar to ULM, offensive tackle Julius Pierce to Middle Tennessee, EJ Wilson to Temple, the Owls, who are stealing players left and right. But they also lost linebacker Baba Kanate. He is in the portal. Tight end Cameron Williams portal. Offensive tackle Jamari Sylvester portal. Linebacker Nasir Carter portal. Safety Joe Perkins portal. Offensive tackle Shamar Habdi Lee portal.
They just can't wait to get out of town.
Safety Henry Gray portal. Defensive lineman Savion Collins portal. And wide receiver Jacoby Hewitt portal. He was at Indiana the year prior. That's a lot of guys in the portal. Yeah, there's no way they won this portal, but let me rattle off who they got. Defensive end Claude Larkins from NC State. That's a nice kid. Athlete Eric Rivers from Memphis. Safety Bobby Sala from the Temple Owls. Linebacker Avery Huff from the Miami Hurricanes. Safety JoJo Evans from Kent State, linebacker Elijah Anderson Taylor from Northern Colorado, and running back Shomari Lawrence from South Dakota. He's penciled in as a day one starter, but Patty C, this team got absolutely pummeled in the transfer portal.
Yeah, although the Shomari Lawrence get is, I guess, pretty big. You know, they replaced the Lexington Joseph stat sheet, at least almost identical stats. So it's nice to be able to plug that guy in.
Still, Chambers, Wilson, Fairweather, their best offensive lineman, their best safety. I mean, they got destroyed.
Yeah,
they got destroyed.
Like you said,
yeah,
farm system for the big boys.
They got to fix that. All right, they got to get that. I know they got a big enrollment there. So, offensive coordinator is David Yost. They were 120th in scoring offense year one of the MAC era, 118th in rush offense, 84th in pass offense, having some success in the air, 116th in total offense. Still terrible numbers, but considering year one and it was kind of a disaster what they were walking into.
Well, yeah, Yost, quarterback coach background going all the way back to, what I don't even know what Tiffin is.
Yeah,
mid or early 80s. So he's been, been at the helm of a lot of programs, and hopefully the quarterback play will improve, because last year less than 2,000 passing yards.
That was their stronger unit, though.
Yeah. So something's got to get better.
Well, I'll tell you this: they had, Grayson James that was his first full season starting, right?
Yeah.
They also got Keon Jenkins as a backup. He's a freshman, but this is a guy who had originally committed to Auburn. I think they're going to be better at the quarterback position regardless.
Yeah.
Just another year of experience, right? So you got to bringing him back.
11 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. This is maybe the worst adjusted yards per attempt I've ever seen for Grayson James, 4.7. It's like that. They got to find a way to make that offense more efficient.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, they got a JUCO transfer and running back Brandon Smith that is speculative. He's in a close battle with Shomari Lawrence to start at the running back spot. It's going to be one of the two. I'm actually seeing that Smith probably would get the nod, I think, if the season started today.
Oh,
wow. It's going to be interesting. Wide receiver, we touched on this. Fairweather gone, Chambers gone, and what's crazy is Chambers came in as such a beast. He was a Sacred Heart transfer originally. So some of that, it's like Jared Verse, the Auburn or the Florida State defensive end coming in from Albany. Sometimes you can find some gems out there in the FCS.
You said Chambers, where'd he go?
He went to Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah. Okay. 51 catches, 544 yards, leading receiver on the team. That's a tough one to lose for sure.
So they do bring back Jalen Bracey and Kris Mitchell at the wide receiver spots. I'm seeing also Dean Patterson projected to potentially be a starter there at the sophomore spot. I'm sorry, at the wide receiver spot. He's a sophomore. I can't fucking talk. Fairweather is gone. So Josiah Miamen is Miamen. It might be is the penciled in tight end.
Nice.
The offensive line though, Patty C.
Bracey and Mitchell 39 and 23 catches respectively. So that's some decent production coming back, at the wide receiver position. Offensive line, you said what now?
You bring back your center, John Brock. He was a freshman a year ago. So you got him for years to come if he doesn't get stolen. Right guard Jacob Peace is back. This guy started a lot of games. I believe started 22 games at VMI. So you got that, but everywhere else on the offensive line, a bit of a question mark. They brought in Travis Burke at the left tackle spot from Gardner Webb. Right tackle spot looks like it's gonna be Phillip Houston. Started 4 games a season ago, so I guess you got that a little bit of experience. And then they're apparently going with the redshirt freshman, in Ladarius Lee at the left guard spot.
Couple question marks.
Little concern on the offensive line. The defensive side,
real quick too. I don't know. I have to dive a little more closely into this, but it looks like they really heavily feature the running back in the passing game. 29 receptions for Lexington Joseph and Eric Wilson Jr. 19 catches. Those are huge numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe MacIntyre, Mr. Checkdown, Grayson James.
Maybe you do that because your O-line's terrible.
Well, that could explain the 4.7 yards per attempt. You're just checking down all day.
It's like, hey, we got to get rid of the ball.
out.
Yeah. Defensively, Jovan Dewitt is the DC, 126 in scoring defense. That's not good. 110th in rush defense, 108th in pass defense, charting at a 119 overall. Patty C. But that was year one. Improvement can happen here. You look at the defensive side of the ball. I think where you are probably
bringing back a lot. It looks like, right?
The defense should be pretty solid, actually, or I shouldn't say pretty solid, improved.
Yeah. Got a long way to go to get to pretty solid.
Your ends are back in Jeremy Passamore and Jordan Grad. They also bring in the NC State transfer Claude Lankins, as I was alluding to. This guy might be a difference maker on that defensive line. Linebackers, you're happy if you get Donovan Manuel back, and he is back as a senior. Like I said, they're also bringing in the kid Avery Huff from the Miami Hurricanes. And the secondary, I think, is what you're really excited about, because free safety CJ Christian back, and really everybody except the other safety spot. Ladarian Polk is the other safety, and he is a transfer from Memphis.
Sean Peterson bringing all 6 of his sacks back, by far the team leader. Gotta like that from the linebacking position. Must have some giddy up off the edge.
There you go. And this is where we're at. We're at this. We're at FIU. They are bringing back the kicker and the punter too. We should touch base on that. If you're in the close games now, it is a brand new CUSA. A lot of those CUSA teams are gone. We're gonna dive into the schedule here in a minute, but remember, brand new CUSA. So let me see if I can do this off memory. Rice, UTSA, UAB, Charlotte, FAU, North Texas, gone. They're in the AAC. Incoming, and this happened on July 1st, which what do we got? Sam Houston State, Jacksonville State, New Mexico State. I think those are all of them. That Liberty joins the CUSA, and next year will be Kennesaw State on July 1st, a year from now.
This is a 9-team league here, so
you got La Tech, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, FIU stay. They bring in those expansion teams. Kennesaw comes in next year. All right.
Yeah,
that's the deal. We're gonna get to the schedule in a second, but before we do that, want to talk about. Want to tell you that the college football experience FIU 2023 season preview episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Best Ball Mania is here, and Underdog Fantasy is giving away $15 million in prizes. Underdog Pick'em is a great way to get down on your favorite MLB and NFL season player props. And when college football comes around, especially those weeknight CUSA games, you're going to want to get in on that, because they have great player props there. And it's available in so many different states. There's so many ways to win over at Underdog. Head on over to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Once again, that's underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Patty saying, look, if they're watching on YouTube, hopefully you're subscribed. Remember, YouTube's like the hub. All right, so subscribe, youtube.com/the college experience. But we host the college football experience, the FCS college football experience, the college baseball experience, the college basketball experience. During the college basketball season, you'll hear me every single night of the season. Been doing this shit for years. We come together as one on youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. Patty C, if they're watching on YouTube, they'll see this sweet graphic. Shout out to Cam Kerr, our graphics guy. The win total, there you go, from a solid, I think it was 2.5. The more I think about it last year, maybe it was 1.5. I have to pull it up. But it's now at 3. Expectations
are up.
Well,
let me say this. With you mentioning the teams that left, FAU, UTSA, North Texas, and Charlotte,
Rice.
All 4 of those teams were ranked above them in the conference talent composite in the most recent one, 2022, which is last year's. Obviously, this year's hasn't been released, but that they were 7th place in talent, composite according to 24/7. With those 4 teams leaving, they move up to 3rd, but I haven't checked what their ranking is with the incoming talent coming in. But at the very least, 4 teams that were more talented than them in the rankings are now gone. So that's nice. That improves your prospects a little bit.
There you go. There you go. And look, if they can get this shit together, the highest group of 5 will have an auto bid in the playoffs starting next year. My point is that you're in Florida, you're in South Florida, the talent rich area. And if the other teams, if Boise's going 10-2, if Tulane or East Carolina's going 10-2, I know it's highly unlikely with ECU or UTSA, the team that might have the least, the team that runs the table might have the best chance of getting to the CFP, and that could be Liberty, FIU, Jacksonville State.
Yeah, and building something long term. If you start winning, like Miami themselves is a classic example of playing in a shitty conference and getting W's and then building talent and getting more and more talent to come and stay home because there are wins on your record. You know, and then obviously UCF was able to do it in a smaller conference, move their way up.
Yeah, they were independent. Then they went to the MAC. Then they went to the CUSA.
Maybe FIU is next in line.
Maybe. Let's get to it because week 0 we got a ball game, and and like I said, if you did not catch last year's game, it was a wild one. Patty C. I believe it was 3 overtimes, if memory serves me correct, where Florida International edged out La Tech. Now they're going to Ruston, Louisiana. Sonny Cumbie, he's in year 2.
2 overtimes, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember watching it. I think FIU is going to win this one. They were better last year, and I think they're a better coach team. So I think they're going to, I know it's on the road. I know it's week 0, and I think this is anyone's game, really.
Yeah.
Give me FIU to win this one.
Not at the airport this year.
Not at the airport. They're going to Ruston. Gator country. Talking out of my ass. I have no idea if that's Gator country.
I think all of Louisiana is Gator country. Yeah. I mean, I would say I'm not very sure about that. If you're winning in double overtime at home,
that was year 1 though.
And year 1 of MacIntyre, that's true. Although traditionally MacIntyre hasn't necessarily. Well, that's not true. Year 2, he did show a big jump at San Jose
If you're betting the over and you feel great about it, this is a must-win game.
Yeah, they have to win this. I'm going to give it to him. I do think if MacIntyre is probably more likely to have his guys ready for this. So
yeah, I mean, I expect this to be a game, but give me FIU. Then the Maine Black Bears come into town. Maine had a tough year last year, but they were in so many close games. But
2-9 at the FCS
I feel
level.
like all their losses were close games.
They've been a playoff team for a while at the FCS level.
Now they did get raided a little bit in the portal. Maine did. So I'm going to favor the airport on the tarmac at FIU Stadium there. What are you doing?
Old Ricardo Silva Airport.
Yeah.
You got to go FIU here.
So 2-0.
I mean, Maine, that's a long trip. That's about as long a trip in the continental US as you can make and stay in America.
2-0, and then brand new head coach at North Texas. And I love the fact you're getting North Texas in their second ever game under a brand new head coach.
Yeah.
I still think North Texas is way more talented than Florida International coming off of a Conference USA championship game. But if they're gonna have a really good season, this is a winnable game because it's year 2 of it's a game 2 of a brand new coaching, tree in Denton there.
This is because look, if they're 3-0, they've already, I guess equaled the win total that Vegas has given them. That would be impressive, but there aren't many other wins left on this schedule. Although some of these FCS programs are yet to be tested at the FBS level. So I'm going to say they lose a game by the third game. I'm going to have them 1-2.
I'm with you. No, 2-1. You mean?
Or 2-1.
I got them 2-1. Now they go up to the Wrench to get twisted. That is East Hartford, Connecticut, to take on our friend Jim Mora Jr. and the UConn Huskies. I favor UConn.
Did they play UConn last year? No. I do favor UConn. I think that they're improving.
Then Jamie Chadwell and the Flamin' Libs of Liberty.
Also a good time to catch a new coach at a new school.
Yeah, they do get 2 new coaches. In general, I think they get all first or second year coaches their first month.
Nice.
But the Flamin' Libs are talented and they spend money. So I will take the Flamin' Libs to beat FIU on Saturday, September 23rd. But I got them sitting there at 2-3 now.
Not a bad start. Respectable.
2-3 for you?
Yeah.
They get a bye week. And look, last year they went into Aggie Memorial Stadium and beat Jerry Kill. The only problem is I think Jerry Kill turned a corner. So I am calling for Jerry Kill and the Aggies to get that dub.
This is how it works. It's kind of like the home and home for the SEC. New Mexico State goes to the SEC, and instead of SEC going back, they just send Florida Atlantic to Las Cruces every year.
Florida International.
Or Florida International. I did it.
Patty C, what's your record after that?
Well, I'll give them a loss for that game on the road, but I feel like they're going to win one of these next couple ones.
I got them winning this next one. UTEP, the Miners.
They got rocked by them last year.
Yeah, but they got raided in the portal.
6-40 was the score.
Yeah, and that was in El Paso. It's tough to go to El Paso. Now they got to come to the airport, the tarmac, and FIU's going to get it done. This is their third win of the season, and I'm feeling pretty good about life, Patty C. So now we're right on that number. What are you doing here?
Well, I'll say between New Mexico State, UTEP, and this next game, they're going to get one. So I'll join you. I'll give them UTEP. Well,
the next game he's referring to is Wednesday, October 18th. By the way, all these nationally televised in October. Sam Houston State, the Bearcats at Bauer Stadium in Huntsville, Texas. Patty C. That's so you're going 1-1 there. I agree. So I don't think they're going to go 2-0, but wouldn't shock me if they won both.
Yeah. No, this is the other part of the schedule that they need to pick up a couple
shock
wins.
Me if they got that one. Then they're home to Rich Rodriguez and Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks. I think I favor Jacksonville State.
I'm tempted to, but I looked at Jacksonville State. We looked at their impressive. What were they? 9-2 last year.
Beat Florida State 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean a good program for sure. 9-2 last year. A lot of blowout victories. They only played one FBS, which was a 5-7 Tulsa team, and they lost by 37 points. So, maybe they were just playing really terrible competition and blowing it out, or maybe they just had a really bad game.
I feel
against
like Tulsa
Tulsa
is better than their record too. Tulsa's like non-con is like Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Washington, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always feel like they challenge themselves in the non-con.
Cincinnati, Ole Miss. Let's see. Well, I guess Cincinnati's in conference.
Yeah, Ole Miss. Who?
Well, last year it was only Wyoming, Northern Illinois, Jacksonville State, and Ole Miss. So
okay,
wasn't really that tough of a schedule.
Okay, fair.
They just kind of weren't that good last year, and they still managed to destroy Jacksonville State. That said, I think Jacksonville State is going to win this game.
I think Jacksonville State wins this as well. Then we got a bye week on Saturday, November 4th. As you go into the final stretch of the season, they are going to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium, one of my favorite names in all of college football, to take on the Blue Raiders and Rick Stockstill, the NASCAR driver. This is winnable to me. This was a close game a year ago. I think MTSU lost a lot, so I think it's winnable. Then this is a classic SEC matchup here. Remember the old November 18th weekend in the SEC? That's just ridiculous where they schedule. So the airport travels to Fayetteville to take on Sam Pulled Pork Pittman and the Razorbacks.
How much did they lose by here?
35.
Okay.
Then they head back home to take on Western Kentucky, who beat them by 73 a year ago.
Ooh.
I'm going to say they lose.
Not scored by 73, won by 73.
I'm going to say they dropped the last two, but so I'm right on the number at 3, and that's without me giving them a win at Sam Houston or Middle Tennessee or North Texas. I think it's more likely they go to 4 than just win 2.
Yeah, I'm not super confident. Depending
this is
on
not going to be on the Locks episode this year.
Yeah, depending on how these FCS teams come in, Sam Houston State and Jacksonville State come out firing, then those could both be losses, which puts them on the under, or at 3 at least. It's hard to see them really going much over 3.
I can build you a case for a bowl,
but I'm leaning it.
You want to be optimistic?
I'm leaning it because MacIntyre has proven that he improves his team from year to year.
Here's optimism for you if you're an FIU fan.
All right.
They win the week 0 matchup against La Tech, like we said. They beat Maine. Eric Morris is in, the second game ever at North Texas. So there's a little bit of a glitch in getting things, the way he wants it.
Plus the games at the airport.
Yeah. So they go 3-0, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
They lose to UConn. They lose to Liberty because those are more talented teams.
Yeah.
They're at New Mexico State. They won there last year.
Yeah.
So 4, then UTEP comes 5, right? And then they just need one more win to go bowling. And I think either Sam Houston or Middle Tennessee might provide that.
Yeah.
Now, both are on the road.
I even think Jacksonville State could provide that.
Yeah. So let's go. Give me the over. I don't love it, but give me the over. Yeah.
Former national coach of the year.
I think twice.
Yeah.
And Bill Parcells, was a Bill Parcells assistant.
Wow.
His dad, old school coach in the SEC.
The pedigree is there. The results are there. Can he do it yet again? Is Mikey Mac him? Is he Himothy?
He is. He's going to get it going. Look, so I'm on the over. Patty C's on the over. Before we get out of here, I had a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour, to talk about his experiences down there to the tarmac and FIU's airport, aka Ricardo Silver / FIU Stadium. And here's that interview with him and his college experience down there. Joining us on the College Football Experience, Florida International 2023 preview is someone you must follow if you love college football. He's traveled to every single FBS school, all 133, and a shit ton of the FCS as well. I give you Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour on Twitter. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great, Colby, and FIU is the largest public university in the state of Florida, so it's a good one to preview here.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought, I haven't been there, but and I know it's called FIU Stadium now, and I want to hear about your experiences, but I wonder if they're sitting around seeing UCF's jump to the Big 12, seeing, the likes of USF's stadium on campus coming, and FAU, it seems like FAU, with them making the Final Four in basketball, it seems like all of a sudden they just got a jolt of energy. They're also stepping up to the AAC. I wonder if they're thinking, man, we're kind of getting lost in the luster, and maybe they'll go more in on football and perhaps the stadium. What do you think?
Well, there's a lot of opportunity there. Like we said, it's the largest enrollment in the state of Florida, over close to 60,000 students there. They had Butch Davis for a couple of years. Recently, they hired Mike MacIntyre, who, did a couple of reclamation projects at San Jose State and Colorado. The huge enrollment hopefully can lead to increased attendance at the game. They have expanded the stadium. It started out at 7,500 back in 2002. And another thing to bring, they're a very young program. They started in 2002. So we're only talking about 21 years. And they've increased the capacity from 7,500 originally to 20,000, and there's room to expand if possible. So there's opportunity. They got a good coach in place, and talk about a place that can recruit. What college student wouldn't want to go play at in Miami?
Yeah, exactly. This thing is a sleeping giant, I think they say. So tell me about your experiences. You've been there once, twice, how many times?
So I've been there twice. Some of the best fans that I've met up with, these guys called Section 112. I've tailgated with them a couple times. There was a 2020 game during COVID, and it was too locked down. But in 2019, it was the best time I went there. They played Thursday night against Charlotte, and they beat them 48-23, 510 yards of offense, 350 yards rushing. So James Morgan was the quarterback. He had a cup of coffee with the Packers, and I believe he's in the USFL now as well. So that was the best experience. They call it the Cage. They've had the biggest crowd they've ever had, 20,000. They beat UCF back in 2011. You brought that up. So potential, I'm going there. I think it's October 11th. Now this Conference USA is playing these weeknight games. I believe that's a Wednesday. So I'm going back there for a non-COVID Mike MacIntyre game, October 11th.
Oh, I love it. And they did beat UCF. I remember didn't they beat the Miami Hurricanes at the Marlins Stadium? I feel like not that long ago. Man, you're making me excited about attending an FIU football game, which I was kind of unsure coming into this episode. So I appreciate that. Folks, you need to follow Michael Barker because this guy goes, I really believe if you love college football, it's like one of the top follows you have to do. He goes to like 6-7 games a week. I repeat. I mean, not every week, but I'm saying 4, 5, 6, 7 games a week. And he documents it all on his Twitter page. He also, takes the photo of the game. It's really fantastic. It's educational as well. You can give him a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. And hopefully you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Michael, I appreciate you jumping on the show. And I look forward to maybe catching a game at FIU Stadium with you someday.
Absolutely. Pause up, as they say. So thank you, Kobe.
You're welcome. Pause up, brother. All right, there we go. Michael Barker, FIU Stadium. Patty, see, we got to get down there for one of these Tuesday, Wednesday night games.
Oh, man. I feel like we do FIU, FAU, and Miami all in like a 3-day period. You got to find. You go on a Wednesday night CUSA game, and then we for FIU. Thursday night for FAU. Yeah. Friday night, we just get hammered, and then Saturday night you get the Hurricanes. Maybe there's an FCS game down there.
Yeah, so Saturday night you get a Hurricanes ticket for like $5. No one goes to those games. All right, folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. We're breaking out all 133 teams. Every single team in the land will have a podcast because we do this each and every year. All right, so give us a follow also on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. Patty C is on Twitter at Patty C831. NC Nick is on Twitter at NC__NICK. Give us all a follow. And like we said, subscribe to the College Football Experience, the FCS College Football Experience, the College Baseball Experience, the College Basketball Experience, the USFL Gambling Podcast. We all host all. I mean, we got it all right. Check out the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. You'll get access to all of our stuff. Free picks, guest appearances. Just recorded an episode with Joe Theismann.
Hello.
Carson Steele, the UCLA starting running back. We got that all coming for you, folks. So subscribe, tell a friend. Also, come talk college football with us in the Discord. It's like a house party of DJs sitting in there just talking. So in those CUSA weeknight games or week 0, hop in there. We're going to be watching it all because we talk about everything there. So sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, folks, I'm on the over. Patty C's on the over. This is the FIU 2023 season preview episode on the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here. Run,